So Complex just recently released their top hip-hop media personalities, and I want to talk about how it's filled with nepotism. Well, not necessarily nepotism, but it's definitely filled with a lot of elitism. Let's get off into it. Let's talk about it. What's going on, everybody? It is your boy Read My Soul, and I'm back with another video for you. Hope everybody doing well out there. Hope everybody's being blessed. Before we get started, make sure you click that like button, you subscribe so you can join the family, ring that notification bell so you can be notified whenever I release a video, share this video with a friend, and leave a comment when I'm done. Let's get off into it. Let's talk about it. Complex just released their top hip-hop media personalities. I have a love-hate relationship with Complex because I hate that they're complex, but I love that they are complex. I hate them for who they are and the establishment that they are and the corporation and the whitewashing that it feels as though they are part of in hip-hop. But I also love the fact that they do real hip-hop things like make lists, create controversial topics and things like that for people to discuss. I love that. Hip-hop is one of my favorite things to talk about all day, every day. You can see in the background, I got all types of hip-hop vinyls over here and over there. Shout out to Nip, shout out to Kendrick, shout out to Kid See Ghost. It's funny because I was about to release my top hip-hop media personalities list, and I waited a little bit because someone told me just to wait, and then this list popped up, and I wanted to talk about it because it just shows you how much nepotism or how much elitism is in hip-hop. Because as you don't know, the number one person is Joe Budden. Number two is DJ Academics, and out of all the people on this list, DJ Academics is the one person that actually built his brand up purely based off the internet and himself, right? Joe Budden, former rapper. Number three, The Breakfast Club, aka Charlamagne the God, $1 million worth of game. Number five was Noriega. That was the top list, and all of those people have some type of connections in the industry. Joe Budden's a former rapper. He's Shauna Shady. He has a lot of pull and a lot of connections in the industry to where, yes, even though I watch him a lot and I like him and I do think he deserves number one because I think Joe has the most consistent platform and has the most controversial platform. Like, his is the most interesting, the most entertaining. But like I said, he's had connections. Even though a lot of people didn't believe in his podcast and didn't believe in podcasting, he still had connections to where he can get those interviews. Even though he was just starting out, he can get those interviews to those people a little bit easier. He's worked at Hot 97. He has plenty of industry connections. Same thing with Charlamagne. Same thing with Noriega. These people have had connections in the industry for years to where, you know, they kind of had a part in playing and a reason as to why hip hop isn't the same, because they have this connection. So they're going to go with their connections. They're not going to go with what's the best, right? Like, I thought for years hip hop was about being the best. Until the older I got, I started to seeing how the industry games, the things that happen behind the scenes really play a big part into who we see and who we love as artists. I mean, as fans, they don't put people in front of us who are not tied in. And it's the same thing with the hip hop media. And it's the reason why Ebro goes from Hot 97 to a position at Apple to a position over here to they stay in the same family, right? They're not picking new people. New media people are not popping as much as $1 million worth of game. All these different dudes who have those industry connections. Like I said, Gilly and Wallow have those industry connections. Gilly was signed to a bunch of different people. He's been in the industry for forever though. So to see his ascension, yes, I do love it, but I also know that they had a little bit of an easier road due to the connections they have had in the industry. So if it was time to get that popular person to do that interview, they could, because they probably know that person, right? And to me, this just shows about, like I said, this shows the elitism in hip hop and how it is very much, you have to be down with a certain gang, or you have to be down with a certain record label, you have to be down with a certain company. You feel me? Like, if you're not down with Rock Nation, more than likely you're gonna have a difficult time dealing with Live Nation and getting a venue in order to do a tour, because Rock Nation and Live Nation have done a tour deal, right? So same thing with hip hop media. Noriega won't won't interview Cuban Link because of his ties and connections with Big Pun and Fat Joe, right? So he won't interview him. So that shows you right there is blackballing that happens. So even though they are media, they're doing the same things that other companies and other people have done, right? I thought hip hop was about fighting the power and doing the things that the corporate entities won't do. But as you get older, you start to see, and you open your eyes a little more, you start to see that, no, man, this is a pay to play game. This is a tight knit group of people who are connected to each other. Offset, right? He's a dancer. This person is a dancer to this person or that person. They're all connected in some type of way. If you look at it, it's not like they made it purely off talent. I do believe that, yes, talent is what separates a lot of people from the rest. Like Joe Budden is number one. DJ Academics is number one. No matter his industry connections, DJ Academics was able to curate his own content and curate his own buzz himself. But these other people, they've had it a little bit easier than most. Even the top 3 hip-hop acts, Drake, Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole, look at who they're signed to. J. Cole signed to Jay-Z. Drake signed to Jay Prince, Baby, Lil Wayne, right? Kendrick Lamar, in order for Kendrick Lamar to be as big as he was, he had to sign through TDE, through Aftermath to Dr. Dre in order to get that big boost of attention and awareness, because, you know, whoever you sign to, they're going to make sure you get more exposure because that cut is a little bit bigger. Looking at the truth, and you start realizing how elitist it is and how hard it is to crack that top 5. Think about it. Think about those top 5s. Like DJ Envy has plenty of connections, right? So the Breakfast Club, even though, you know, Charlemagne is what made the show, let's keep it real, Envy was what was the behind the scenes with those relationships, right? So a lot of these people, like I said, they've had it a little bit easier than most in order to get their platform to that number 1 spot. And even though I do think that, you know, out of all of the 5, I watch all 5 of them. The hip hop media personality I probably watch at least is Charlemagne the God. So I just wanted to talk about the elitism and how unfair it is in hip hop media specifically, and how all the number 1 podcasts have a relationship to the industry, right? So that was just my spiel for the day. Let me know how you feel about it. Do you watch any of these guys? Are they influencers? I just released a influencer. What does it mean to be an influencer in 2023? I just released a video about influencers. So, you know, do you follow any of these influencers, any of these hip hop media personalities? I know I watch I watch a lot Joe Budden podcast. I don't miss a podcast. I'll actually watch Rory and Mal podcast, which is funny. Another connection right there, because Mal is the brother to Biggs, which Biggs, Dame Dash, and Jay-Z started a Rockefeller. So all of the major podcasts have, you know, connections, right? So I watch them. I watch $1 Million Worth of Game. Like, I just watched the Ray Shrimmered interview because I really like Ray Shrimmered. And, you know, I watch a lot of those different interviews that they do because I like Gillian Wallow. Gillian Wallow are really interesting. The Breakfast Club, they kind of fell off to me a few years ago. DJ Academics, I mean, he is just entertaining. You can't help but watch him. He's now on Rumble, which, you know, caused a little controversy because people think that Rumble is a conservative platform. And DJ Academics is like the first hip hop signee to Rumble. And, you know, I started a Rumble because I'm going to follow him because he's really entertaining. Do I agree with a lot of the BS that he does? No. He is a nerd to me, but I am a nerd as well, so I understand that. Nori, the Drink Champs podcast, very amazing. I watch it all the time. I just watched the Marlon Wayans one. When I'm delivery driving, it's really easy to just throw on a Drink Champs interview and just chill out and listen to it and laugh and geek and listen to them old school stories. It just, you know, you start looking at hip hop a little different. You're like, oh, it's a lot of elitism there. You start understanding that if the money ain't flowing to the top, you ain't gonna hear or know about that person. And that's just a fact. So give me your thoughts and your opinions on the hip hop media list. You know, leave your thoughts and opinion in the comment section. Read my soul. Just wanted to give y'all some real talk. The sneaker industry right now is kind of right now. So there's nothing I really want. Nike.com is talking about restocking the Air Jordan 1. So, you know, that's all we got right here. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say. That's all I wanted to talk about. Read my soul out. Peace.